They say you can't make real bread without a machine. The Amish would disagree. Hidden far from the noise of modern life, their hands still do what machines never could: shaping, kneading, and baking with instinct instead of timers, and fire instead of electricity. Their bread isn't just food. It's a living piece of history, built from the grain they've grown, the patience they've practiced, and the trust they've handed down for generations. Today, we'll step inside that quiet world to see how Amish families bake bread completely from scratch. No power, no gadgets, no shortcuts, just tradition, muscle, and the kind of wisdom you can only earn when time itself is your ingredient. Baking as a way of life. Baking bread for the Amish isn't a hobby, it's a heartbeat. While most of us rely on electric mixers and digital timers, the Amish return to the roots of creation itself: hands, time, and faith. Their kitchens are quiet but alive. The creak of wood, the hum of conversation, and the steady rhythm of kneading form a melody of tradition. Bread making here is not rushed or mechanical. It's a ritual that anchors the family to their ancestors, to the soil that feeds them, and to the patience that shapes every crumb. In a world chasing convenience, the Amish remind us that true nourishment takes more than ingredients. It takes intention. Gathering ingredients, farm-to-table philosophy. It all begins long before the flour hits the bowl. In Amish communities, the supply chain isn't a list of barcodes and distributors. It's a circle of neighbors and trust. Many grind their own grains or buy from the farmer down the road, exchanging handshakes instead of receipts. Honey comes from a cousin's beehives, eggs from the hens in the next barn. When harvests are poor, they improvise, swapping wheat for spelt or stretching flour to feed one more family. Their organic methods, composting, rotating crops, avoiding chemicals, ensure that each loaf carries not just flavor, but life. To eat Amish bread is to taste the earth, the effort, and the unseen hands that made it possible. Mixing the dough, respecting the process. When the ingredients finally meet, the work turns personal. No machines roar to life, just a simple bowl, a wooden spoon, and hands that know what to do. The dough begins soft, stubborn, unpredictable. It resists control, demanding patience. Mixing by hand is part struggle, part meditation, a slow, rhythmic act that invites humility. Too dry, a sprinkle of water. Too sticky, a dusting of flour. Every motion teaches balance. The Amish don't fight the process. They flow with it, listening to the dough until it finds its rhythm. In that quiet space between effort and surrender, you realize something profound. Sometimes, to create something good, you have to slow down enough to feel it. Kneading the dough, the heart of the work. Kneading is where strength meets surrender. The dough pushes back like a polite opponent, testing your resolve. For the Amish, this is the heart of the ritual, a conversation between human and earth. Their hands, weathered yet gentle, fold and press with the precision of generations before them. The texture shifts from coarse to smooth, from stubborn to obedient. It's a workout, yes, but it's also therapy. Some say you can knead your worries away, and by the time the dough becomes elastic and alive, the stress of the world has melted into the table. Children join in, laughing as their tiny hands press clumsily into the dough. Imperfect loaves still taste perfect, because they carry love, not symmetry, as their secret ingredient. Letting the dough rise, patience and trust. After the storm of effort comes stillness. The dough rests beneath a simple cloth, tucked into a warm corner of the kitchen, alive with quiet hope. Without electricity or thermostats, Amish bakers rely on instinct, a sixth sense of temperature, touch, and time. The yeast breathes, the dough grows, and patience takes over. Too warm, and it rushes ahead. Too cold, and it sulks. Either way, the baker must trust nature to do its work. As the dough rises, so does gratitude. This is when life slows down. Butter is churned, floors are swept, stories shared. The Amish understand what the rest of the world often forgets. Good things don't come faster. They come from faith and waiting. Shaping the loaves, art and symbolism. When the dough has risen, it's time for the most creative step, shaping. To the Amish, this part is more than function. It's an act of art. Hands stretch, fold, and braid, coaxing the dough into its destiny. Everyday loaves are humble and round, but on special occasions, the shapes become symbolic. Braids for unity, rolls for family, twists for celebration. It's not just bread anymore, but a story of craftsmanship. The dough resists, sticks, or collapses, yet the baker continues, guided by feel, not perfection. In every handmade imperfection lies beauty, proof that life, like bread, doesn't need to be flawless to be fulfilling. Baking, mastering the wood-fired oven. Now the magic begins. There are no digital displays or timers here. only a roaring wood fire built hours before dawn. Amish bakers know the oven's mood the way a musician knows a favorite instrument. They test the heat with a sprinkle of flour or the warmth of a hand. Some ovens burn hotter on one side, others slower, each with its own temperament. But that unpredictability is part of the charm. The fire humbles the baker, reminding them that they are not in control. They are in partnership with nature. When the loaves go in, the air fills with a scent that feels holy: toasted grain, honey, smoke, and patience. It's the smell of something ancient being reborn. Timing. Knowing when it's perfect without electricity, time becomes a sense, not a number. Amish bakers don't watch clocks. They watch color, smell aroma, and listen for the faint crackle of crust. A golden brown hue, a hollow tap on the bottom, a gentle pull from the pan. These are their timers. The bread teaches them to be present, to observe. One Amish woman once said, "The bread will tell you when it's ready, if you're humble enough to listen." In a world addicted to instant results, their patience feels rebellious. The process isn't about perfection, it's about presence. Each loaf is a quiet declaration that life's best rewards can't be rushed, only earned through awareness and care. Cooling, the final test of patience. The hardest step isn't baking, it's waiting. Pulling a loaf from the oven tempts every sense, but the Amish know that slicing too soon destroys the work of hours. The bread must rest, breathe, and find balance as it cools on wire racks. This pause allows the crust to stay crisp and the flavor to deepen. During that time, the kitchen fills with calm. The day winds down, chores slow, and stories begin. The act of waiting becomes its own form of gratitude. Cooling bread is a reminder that even after creation, patience has one more lesson: that letting things rest can make them whole. Sharing and enjoying, the reward of simplicity. Finally, the moment arrives. The knife glides through the cooled loaf, releasing a soft sigh of steam. The first slice is passed to a child, or maybe a neighbor who stopped by. Around an Amish table, bread isn't just food, it's a gift, a symbol of togetherness. Each loaf carries the fingerprints of patience, labor, and love. The crust may crack, the shape may lean, but the taste is pure truth. This is what happens when life is lived slowly, honestly, and close to the earth. For the Amish, baking bread isn't about eating. It's about remembering that the simplest things still hold the most meaning. When the last loaf cools and the kitchen goes quiet, there's a peace that lingers. The kind you can't plug in or turn on. The Amish know that peace. They live it. In the slow rise of dough, in the warmth of a wood stove, in the silence between effort and reward. Maybe that's the secret we've been missing. Maybe it's time we stop rushing, start listening, and let life rise the way bread does, naturally, patiently, and with grace.